What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Did I Lie podcast. This is episode 2. I want to welcome all of you, my homegirl Fatima, Jaleesa, I'm Shanae. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Happy to be. Ooh, I just opened an Instagram, see a bag of money.
Let
That's
me
what we need.
see.
Jesus.
Let me see.
Scammer, New York City shit.
Okay.
Per usual. But yeah. How you guys feeling?
I'm tired today. I'm not gonna even lie.
Me too. I'm working off like an hour sleep.
Yeah, it's summertime, y'all. It's 100 degrees.
100 freaking degrees.
You can't even get dressed and be cute.
You can't escape the sun.
Still wearing masks.
Ubers
still
with
hot.
no heat. No, excuse me, no air.
Ubers are hot.
Like, you definitely, if you drive Uber and you listen to this, if you don't got proper AC etiquette, okay, cut a little slit so people in the back could breathe. Because I'm 1-starring all your asses. I want you to know that now.
Yep. Is there 0 stars? Can you not rate?
No, I think you have to rate, and then they ask what's the issue. And they don't have motherfucker don't got no air on. It's other professionalism, GPS. Like suffocating in the back of the motherfucking car.
So this episode will just be our little seasoning, mixing our little food, so you'll get to know a little more about ourselves. We'll talk about our backgrounds, growing up in Queens, in New York City, running around, going to high school, all our brothers and sisters, our crazy parents, all of it, all mixed in.
And how we're still living today.
Yeah, how we survived. So yeah, for me, I am Haitian and Black. I didn't grow up in a Haitian household. I had a little influence growing up Haitian because my dad was like in and out the picture. So most of what I learned I learned sign language, to be honest. because my grandmother spoke no English. So anytime I was around her, we kind of had to use our hands to understand one another, because she would say something in Creole and I would be sitting there dumbfounded like, huh? You talking to me? And they call me different things, like sometimes Spanish people pronounce Fatima, so do Haitians. Or like my Haitian side, they'll say Fatu, Fati. So yeah, exactly. So, those were the names. So she would be like, she would say Fati, Fatu, come. That's like the only English word I think she knew. That's it. Like the last time I saw her, God rest her soul, we literally was looking through a photo album together and did not speak. She was just pointing to everything and, showing me who was who, my grandfather, who I look just like. It's crazy when you see somebody you never met and you look just like them. That shit is bonkers. But my Haitian family, you come around us, you see the same face 80 times. We all look alike.
Oh,
I
don't act like you haven't been in our house.
Exactly.
Right? You all look like daddy.
So it's crazy, but so for me, my influence, my growing up ish was a Black household. My mother's Black. She's from Jersey. Like, so growing up was crazy. My mother's a hairdresser, so Saturday mornings you might smell Jheri curl juice. You might smell, this is old, so I don't know if y'all might remember this or not, but there's a rinse called jazzing.
Yep. That's
what me and my sister would wake up to, Jheri curl jazzing, because she would do some clients in the house, some clients at her shop. Yeah, that was, Sunday mornings was for church. Get your white tights, Kirk Franklin blasting. And being out the door by 9 o'clock so we could make it to Bible study beforehand, then church, then lunch, then after church, second service. So that was my life growing up, like, in the beginning being young.
Me and Jaleesa's experience, we lived down the block from Fatima. So we all kind of already knew each other in the neighborhood.
Right.
Like, we was in the same school.
Same houses.
Same shit. We would see each other as neighbors. But I think me and Fatima really got close, like, on the verge before high school, right?
I would say right before high school, because your mom bought you to your mom brought you to my house so my mom could do your hair, and they decided we were gonna go to school together. Like,
Right.
oh, she's going to LIC. Okay, she's going to LIC too.
Oh, so
They
they
need to
gonna
get on a
walk
bus.
together.
Yes, they're gonna take the bus together. They're gonna be together. So I think our moms kind of like forged our friendship.
Yeah.
I remember our first like kind of little conversation. I was like, "You like B2K?" And you was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, I don't like this bitch." So I knew from there we would not be friends. But lo and behold,
I don't know what the hell happened. What happened?
I think I think LIC also pushed us together because we walked in there like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right.
Because we were so similar, kind of like in the way we were, like mad innocent, super chill. Somebody said suck dick, and we looked at each other like, what's that?
What is that?
You ever heard of that? What is that? I never heard of that. So we had that innocence about us that we just clung to each other, but then we were both crazy. We both loved music. You love to dance. I love to sing. You love to sing. We just had so many things in common that it just kind of just worked
Yeah.
itself out.
It kind of we meshed and folded up together and haven't been apart since that day.
Basically, that's basically it. Like I don't think we've ever like really separated for real. Like even when what happened, like when you went to school, I went to work. Even then, we was still like
Yeah.
every day talking.
Yeah.
And you like, bitch, I got an essay, and I'm like, bitch, I'm about to cuss all these bitches at this job out. So yeah, and Jaleesa was just the little sister.
I was the little sister. There's a 3-year age difference between me and Shanae. So anywhere she went later on in our lives, I went. You know, when I was in middle school, they were both in high school, and then when they were out of high school, I was just coming in. I think you were a senior and I was a freshman, something like that.
Yeah.
But when her and Fatima used to hang out, I used to just be right at their side, and I've witnessed. Growing up, I just know that everything y'all did, I've not necessarily followed in your footsteps, but I already saw like, all right, they did that, so let me do something else. Or I know they did that, so I'm going to continue to do that. And then once we got a little older, like I say 18 and up, that's when we started clicking a lot more because we were all making money, so we started going out more. And like Fatima said earlier, the more we experienced life, the more we all clung on to each other because we grew up different.
Definitely.
We didn't grow up like the
at
normal
those times,
person.
I think our families were going through things and
Right.
the neighborhood was changing and we were meeting more people. And school, everything was like evolving. Everything was changing. Remember the 2000s, everything was kind of starting to modernize.
Right.
And technology, like we didn't grow up with that shit.
At all.
No.
I did not
So-
grow up with like I used to remember in junior high school, a girl had a beeper and I was like, oh, she got a beeper. Like that was tough.
Or the Nextel, the beep beep.
Right.
Yeah.
People had the two-way pagers.
Yeah.
I was like,
So-
damn, y'all rich.
So things were just beginning to modernize. So we were just beginning to branch out and to this whole new world. Let me just say real quick, shout out to Fatima's mother for fixing my hair because my mother thought it was smart to perm a half black and Puerto Rican girl's hair.
right. A mixed child's hair.
She didn't know what to do with our hair.
She didn't know at all what to do with our hair.
That's funny though, but a lot of parents go through that who have like biracial children. They don't really know because they're used to their hair that's wavy or smooth or
Yeah.
silky, and then they
could
get this
just take a
baby
shower
with like a
and dry.
fro,
Mhm.
and it's like, wait, what do I do?
I was watching Steve Harvey because I be watching his clips on Facebook. Y'all know that. It's mad funny. But he had a white woman on who adopted a black girl who reached out on like a Facebook group saying, help me, I have a black daughter. I really don't know how to do their hair. What do I buy? Is this the right products? And a black woman with kids was like, I think she had some Pantene or something like that. She was, oh no. So she was, nope, let me come over. I'm not a serial killer. Let me come over to your house and teach you how to do hair.
Yeah, dope though.
That's cool.
And they're
That's
best friends.
cool.
They're best friends to this day.
Yeah, like that's kind of cool though. Cause I mean, listen, I know. Well, no, I'm not even gonna lie. If I had a kid with silky hair, I'd be doing everything too. Like
Right.
we doing all the hairstyles. But I can see how that might be a lot. Like you adopt a whole child from a different race, and you're just looking at this hair like, what the fuck?
What?
Because I still be looking at my hair like, what
Me
the
too.
fuck?
I never do my hair.
I be like, why, God? Why?
Like,
Why did you do this to me?
I mean, homegirl can't pop out cornrows, but at least she's doing
she
what
could slick a little
she's doing what she
edge
gotta
and
do.
a little
Make
puff.
a part.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. Make a puff. Like, and not for nothing. Like, I'm a black girl, grew up with a mother as a hairstylist. I learned to braid like 3 years ago, like a straight cornrow. I could do a
I can't.
plait down, but a cornrow, no,
Yeah.
never knew how to do a cornrow. So
All right, go back to how household we grew up in, Shanae.
So we the mixed chicks. So our mother is Puerto Rican, our father is black, and besides all the messiness in it, like my father in and out of jail. Shout out to you, Dad. We love you.
We cut it.
Why are we cutting that out?
It's
Go
the
ahead.
truth.
All right, go ahead. Did she lie?
Right.
Yeah,
Did
did I lie?
Shoot.
Besides all the messiness, we how would we describe our dynamic? Like we had an older brother who didn't do shit in the house. He was like the king.
The king, right?
Yeah.
All the boys, first boys, are
In a Spanish household.
I would
in a
even say
Spanish house.
Caribbean because
Yeah.
Haitian boys, they're like treated like, like you
They can't do no
are.
wrong.
They could do no wrong, but that's a lot of house. I do have an older brother, but I didn't grow up with him, so I can't say.
Yeah, our brother absolutely didn't do shit.
Right.
He didn't throw out the garbage. He didn't do nothing. He would just look at us. I think my mom just expected me as the oldest daughter, as well as Jaleesa, but it came down on me first. Like, bitch, you gotta fold these. You gotta come with me to the laundry. You gotta fold these clothes. You gotta put them away.
I remember 9 years old,
Yeah.
lugging laundry up the block.
Yeah, we was young, and she would make us wake up on the weekends, clean the tub. Before school, after school, my mother made us clean.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to see the outside if the house was not clean. The house, not our room. There's not no white people shit. Go clean your room. No, clean the fucking house or you're not going nowhere. That was rule number 1.
It was a little different for me. I'm the baby of the children in my mother's house. So I have an older sister. We're 8 years apart. So that dynamic in and of itself was crazy because everything that she was doing, I had no interest in. And she had no interest in my shit. When she was loving Wu-Tang and Genuine and Brandy, like I remember we shared our bedroom. We had bunk beds, which I don't know why my mother thought that was a good idea. Because again, an 8-year-old, and like it just never worked. So when she was in her teens, she would plaster the wall with all the fucking posters, and I'll never forget. This is when I stopped sleeping in there. I would sleep on the couch with my mother. I didn't care. She had this plastered big ass poster of Method Man, and he looked so scared because remember he used to wear one blue eye and then one his regular eye. That shit used to scare me, and you couldn't tell me when we turned the lights out that Brandy wasn't talking to me. So I just fucking knew I could not share a room with this girl. So that right there. And then it was just like, she had y'all's experience where she had to look after me, clean up after me herself, take care of the house. And I'm just the baby running around making a mess, Barbies and cheese balls and Little Mermaid and whatever I want to do. So I think that created a little bit of resentment between us. And my sister tortured me. When I say tortured, I mean, we had a washer dryer. She would put me in a dryer and turn it on. She would lock me in the closet.
What in the world?
Yes, lock me in the closet for the entire workday that my mother was gone. And maybe give me like a ham and cheese and a Pop-Tart. I was living the Harry Potter life. I think that's why I love him, because I was dead in the closet. I was in the fucking Chokey. It was horrible. I'll never forget one time she broke a lamp. Dad blamed it on me. Like it was just so much growing up with my sister, but now we're a lot better. We're in a good space, and then she became a teen mom. So still, we just never had anything in common until we became like women. As far as like my mother was a very liberal Black mother. She's not like clean up. You can't have company. You can't do this. My mother would let me do pretty much whatever I wanted as long as I behaved. If I wanted to play piano and then I wanted to quit, she was okay with that. She was never like a forcing, like, you have to do this. The only thing that she was stern about, which I appreciate now, was church. You're going to go to church every Sunday. You're going to go to children's church. You're going to go to a Bible study. You got choir rehearsal. You got dance rehearsal. So I was very involved in church.
I remember those days.
Yes, like she
They
did
used
not
to tag me along.
exactly, because I'm like, at that point, once I started dragging you with me, I was ready to go. Like, I'm like, maybe if Shanae come, we could run away to Deadass house or something. I was just praying, like, maybe we can escape this, because I can't keep doing this, Lord. I love you, but goodness. And then you get to church on Sunday and you there all day. And even though I had my church friends who are now like my sisters, it just wasn't easy. But my mom was my mom, honestly, I wouldn't change anything about the way she raised me. Like, she made me very independent, very trusting in myself, because she allowed me to express myself and the things I liked and the things I didn't like. She was not like a tyrant type of parent, which is cool.
Us with our mother, I feel like she sheltered us more. I think she was afraid because of the things that she witnessed growing up and how she was raised, that she always protected her kids. We weren't allowed to do nothing. We, unlike Fatima, we could not have company. She never allowed us to have people in the house. Her house
not making it seem like a bad thing.
No,
like,
it's not a bad
we
thing.
was lit in the house. Like, we would do arts and crafts and put on shows. We was very musical.
She just wanted
it was
y'all
us.
to be together.
Yeah, it was
right.
just
She
us.
It was just
it
us.
wasn't, yeah.
Anytime we wanted to have, except for Fatima, because I remember you used to come over, but we weren't allowed to have sleepovers, parties. We couldn't do nothing. My mother's
go
house,
to nobody's house.
No, my mother's house was her house. That was her sanctuary. That's where she lays her head at night. She didn't believe in people coming over. So that's why to this day, I want an actual home. And I'm inviting everybody fucking over every Sunday after church for a barbecue, because I want people. I like to host. I like people in my house. That's one thing I definitely would change. Like Shanae said, we grew up with my brother and we do have a younger sister. My mother, unlike y'all fighting, you and your sister fighting, me and Shanae were close.
Yeah.
I think it was because of the age. We're only 3 years apart. I would take your shit. Every time somebody bought you a Barbie, I would take it.
Yeah. We had the regular sister relationship.
Yeah.
Fight, make up.
Yeah.
Use each other's shit, break it, mess up everything.
And then as my younger sister grew up, we had to watch our younger sister. Not necessarily take care of her. I wouldn't say that. But we were next in line to take care of the household. My mother she would wake up, want to clean all day. She would cook. She was good with the music because of just, I guess, all her baby fathers introduced her to
all types of shit.
All types of shit.
So we listened to everything.
So Saturday she would wake up early in the morning. She would wake us up. We would be dead asleep. We would hear Celine Dion or something blasting, like, so we knew to get up and start cleaning. That's sad. That's mad sad.
That's how it be though. Like, they don't play. It's Saturday. Nope. And it's like, bitch, first of all, you act like I ain't been working all week. I've been in school. That's work.
They don't,
122 was not like a regular nice school. You had to walk up all them steps, asbestos smelling steps. Yeah, mismatch grilled cheese with the wheat and the white bread. Like, that was a job. And then you gonna wake me up early Saturday morning?
Hell yeah.
What can I say? 122 is a really good school.
A great school.
I'm glad we kind of grew up where we grew up, because we were at the best schools, at public schools.
And it was diverse. It was, I would like to say that.
Right.
It wasn't
super
just
diverse. It was like we had the project kids busting. Yeah. We had kids like us who grew up in the neighborhood, which our neighborhood, as white as we joke that it is or can be at times, when you really look around, it's a melting pot. Yeah. It's black, it's Spanish, it's Asian, it's a little bit of everything there.
Mad mixed kids.
We had all types of friends. Like, now we got friends like Nicole with the old parents.
I think we all have teachers that, I think I have maybe three or four that I will never forget, that stood out to me, that taught me something, that I know I'm here today because of these 4.
122 was a great experience. My favorite teacher, period in life was in high school. Her name was Miss Murphy. She was my speech teacher.
Yep.
She played no fucking. She was like a real ass white Italian. I don't know if she was Italian. Was she Italian or Greek? Something like that. I
Beats
don't
me.
know. But she used to come for me and Shanae, like, because Shanae would sit in my period of that class. And we weren't bad. I did my assignments. Like, that
I think
class
she
was.
just understood like we was trying to stay out of trouble, so she would let me
She
in the
would-
class. Like, all right,
exactly.
X sort of got nothing to do, and I
I
don't want
know.
nothing to happen to them.
Right.
So come in.
She was great. She used to just be real nigga. She used to just tell us real nigga shit. Like, y'all need to get it together. I remember she saw us in the hall. She was like, what are y'all doing? Y'all need to get it together. And then when we popped up at prom, because no one expected that.
I know.
And we were not expected at our prom.
Nobody
Because
liked us.
nobody
I
liked
remember.
us. We were always in trouble. We were always fighting. It was always an issue with Shanae and Fatima. So prom was the last place they
But
thought.
why was it always a problem?
We don't know. I mean,
First
now
of
we know that we
all,
older.
Right. First of all, our very first experience walking into LIC, Shanae was told she was going to get sliced in the face. I was told my hair was, what? I forget. Some shit. But basically.
They thought you was Dominican. Like, oh, that can't be your hair. You
Right.
lying.
Like, we were bothered from the jump. Like, people tried to jump us. Like, dead bitches was walking in school, kiki, and we're not even paying attention.
Yeah.
And all we did was
Because y'all wasn't
look
raised
up.
to like know those types
No.
of
we
things.
didn't pay attention to our surroundings at all.
Ever. We
I-
never paid attention.
I would say like high school was a big rude awakening for us. 'Cause
Yeah.
we coming from this.
But people assume
Family,
that y'all
neighborhood.
are doing that purposely, but really y'all, like you said, were innocent.
Right.
People-
We were in
people
our
thought
own
y'all
little
was ignoring them.
world. Right. We were in our own little bubble. Guys would say stuff and we would be like, what?
Oh,
We were so
I'm popping.
confused. Like, huh? What is he talking about? But yeah, there was one day we literally just walked into school. We're literally like looking at each other, laughing about something. And bitches just happen to look up and we see like a semicircle. And we was oh shit.
we about to get
We were about to get fucked up. But the stupid bitches did it right in front of the security room
Yeah.
because in New York City there are cops in the school. So
in our
in
metal
our
detectors,
fucking
metal
school
detectors.
metal detectors. So them
security.
dumb bitches did it right in front of the security desk and we had black ratchet security. Like,
No, yeah.
The type that would
I think she came out and was like, ain't none of that going
right.
on.
They literally saved us because we was about to, it was like maybe like 6 of them. We were about to get jumped. And to this day, I don't even know why. I don't know why.
remember.
So that was our upbringing as just a little bit, from high school.
I think in our neighborhood too, to be fair, yeah, do we wish, let me speak for myself. Do I wish I probably grew up in a better environment, a better neighborhood? Yes. But I feel like the neighborhood we grew up in Queens was the best one to at least grow up in if we had to choose.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to
Yeah.
grow up in Jamaica, Queens. No shade. But, like, I'm happy that I grew
Right.
up in Astoria because it opened up so many things. Like, me and Shanae would hop on the train and go to the city.
Yeah.
And that's how we learned how to navigate, the city. We
Right.
would just go and window shop or when we would get a little bit of change. Oh, girl, let's go get the baby fat shirt. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we learned to, like, learn new things.
Walking up
because-
Remember
Doors.
Dr. J's? Damn.
Dr.
you
J's on,
Google.
what was it, 34th Street? I think we
Yup.
were always in. We were always on 34th Street, always on 42nd. I don't know how our parents missed that because they were so fucking concerned with what we were doing elsewhere. Bitches wasn't even in school. So,
Right.
we dead was
Y'all
in
was
school.
never in school.
Never
No.
in school. Never.
Never in school. And I would never snitch because obviously I would never tell mom.
But we were still like good students. Like we
Yeah.
still kind of like
Yeah.
made it work the best
Everyone
we could.
knew us, and I think they knew we was good kids. We just
Yeah.
couldn't relate to anyone in
At
the
all.
School. Like,
It was so that
Yeah.
was such an unrelatable experience. Even to this
Yeah.
day, when I see like some of the girls we went to high school with, I'm like, word, that's your life?
Yeah.
I be so confused. I'm still confused.
I'm telling you, all the girls I graduated with are married, moms.
Bitch, they were
work at
moms in high
Starlets.
school. There was a
Yeah.
nursery in LIC.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Like when I tell people that, they're blown. Like you had a nursery, and I'm like, yeah, LIC, let's not get it twisted. It afforded you the opportunities to do what you want if you wanted to. They had the home economics, which had like a full fucking chef's kitchen.
Yep.
There was a swimming pool. You could take fencing, computers, piano, music, choir with a great choir director that both of y'all were,
Yeah, we
in.
was on opera.
I had a full ride my first year of college.
Choir.
Exactly.
choir.
So you had the
I was on a
opportunity.
dance
team. Y'all was on TV. Her dance team
Yeah.
went all the way to what? 106 in Park?
Yeah.
Look, like I'm just saying, you had the opportunity to be a great student. LIC had great teachers, great
They did.
deans. Like,
Was you
and
one of them dirty bitches who left your jeans underneath your gym uniform?
we couldn't. They would. Who was that teacher who used to pat us down? You remember?
There was a teacher who.
It was an older black lady. She wouldn't touch us like inappropriately,
Yeah.
but she would touch your
Skin,
knee
She
Heel.
would make us do the jail shit and put your thumbs
like
in
this
the-
to see if your
Yeah.
pants would extend or not.
Yeah.
Because of course, bitches didn't. We didn't want to get naked. We just.
I
wanted
learned
to-
later in life that they do that in Rikers. So.
Oh shit! Wow.
I didn't like changing in the locker rooms. Y'all changed in the locker rooms? I never did.
First
we
of
had
all-
to, and then all them Spanish bitches used to be naked.
Naked
and walking
around
But that's
in
why I
thongs,
never-
And I used to be
bare
like, oh my
feet,
god,
bare feet on the motherfucking
never
floor.
changed.
Like this is like a public bathroom. Why is you bare feet?
I changed, but I didn't.
Discreetly.
Yeah, discreetly.
too.
I wouldn't put my feet on the floor.
They took
At
showers.
all.
They didn't. I
Yeah,
was like, oh,
they was doing
y'all
all types of shit.
are crazy.
But yeah, that was.
Didn't you, Haley? Everything's all quiet. We getting ready for gym, and all of a sudden, one girl, who took my North Face?
It was, and they closed the door in the gym, didn't let us leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy.
It was just that school was something else, but it still taught us a lot. I think.
Yeah,
you know,
we walked out of there with tough. If you went
very
to
tough
LIC,
skin.
Yeah.
LIC, and grew up in that particular area,
would
I
say
in
that-
life have tough
That
skin.
kind of changed the person who I was.
Definitely.
in high school. Like that changed me from being the nice and sweet girl to the I'm nice and sweet, but I'll fuck you.
Basically,
Yeah.
to
Don't bother
this
me.
day, like
Just
I
don't
do
bother
not,
me.
I don't mind a fight. Like I
You don't mind.
I don't mind a fight. Like if that's what it got to come down to.
Yeah.
Now at 31, I don't want to fight. No, but
It's
throughout
in
my
you.
throughout like my 20s and after leaving high school and stuff, I never backed down from anybody because I was so
Yeah.
used to people coming at us that it was like you had to fight. Like if y'all
You
want to
had
fight,
no choice in LSD.
they
Yeah.
gave you no option. You were
Yeah.
fighting. Period.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow, you still are.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
everyone gassed it. By the time it got around, it was so.
Do you remember that lunch
They
period?
would stay outside and wait.
No, there was a lunch period that. Well, hang on, before I even get into that, shout out to the cookies from LIC. Those fresh baked cookies
cookies.
Y'all are so
was
stupid.
life. I wouldn't even eat regular food. I just wanted my cookies and to chill. But there was one lunch period. I don't know who we were supposed to fight or if it was mainly for you or mainly for me. But I remember we sat there the whole lunch period. Your high school boyfriend was there. His best friend was there. I was there. And the like you could hear a pin drop in the
Smokey
lunchroom.
Robinson.
Yes. You could hear a pin. That's how silent it was waiting for bitches to come and they never showed up. I'll never forget that. They
I don't
never showed
remember.
up.
I remember one distinct fight with Kwame, and he was on the lunch table.
Yes.
I
Girl.
don't remember who he was beating.
Shout out
up.
to everybody we grew up with.
Right?
Oof.
Play no fucking games. But yeah, so that's our Astoria, Queens upbringing, high school, because we pretty much stayed in that neighborhood. We didn't really venture out as far as, aside from me, I went to a different junior high school, but then I came back to Queens for high school.
Let's talk about the
But,
neighborhood.
like-
So once we got out of high school, we were
I was working.
we
I
were
went
working.
straight. I
We
didn't
all
even.
were working. We
I
worked,
didn't-
obviously.
I didn't care to go to college or like. I just knew I wanted to make money. Like that was my thing. I wanted to make money. I wanted to buy shit. I thought I was gonna live on Park
That was
Avenue.
always shopping.
Yeah, like I just thought I was gonna like. I don't know. I don't know who the fuck I thought I was. Like I watched too much TV. I thought I was Beyonce, Carrie Bradshaw, wrapped in one. I'm out this bitch. I need money.
But I
So-
feel like we all three of us felt that way, and at least for me, I always felt like I wasn't a part of our neighborhood because we just thought differently.
Well,
as if it was a bad thing.
Yeah, I never, like, to this day, I don't really, like, speak to people. If I see
Same.
someone, it's like, oh, hello. But I was never, like, a part of the neighborhood. Like,
I was the more mixy one, y'all.
exactly. She reeled us in, if anything, because
Yeah,
if
like
we
had
were,
our fun.
if we were, if we were with her and she's stopping to talk, like, I have the people that we are, I guess, cool with now, I never spoke to a day in my life before I was with you. Yeah. Other than the people that lived on shore.
Right.
I think it's all kind of blown up now. Like, I hardly talk to anyone from my neighborhood.
And not in a bad way. It's
not
just
in a bad
everybody's
way.
grown up.
Grew
Everybody's
up.
living their own
like,
life.
When we was 18, 20-ish, I just remember them calling us Hollywood. And we would just continue walking. And laugh like we always do.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
but it was a lot of fun hanging out in the neighborhood, like when it was like at its peak, cursing people out.
We were kept safe. Let me say that when we went out, we were kept safe. Nothing really happened to us.
Yeah, but even just like in the neighborhood was fun. Like even arguing with people in the neighborhood, like arguing with old ass women in their fucking 30s, and we were like 18, 19. Yep. Arguing with girls our age, arguing with niggas. I'll never forget. A nigga said something to me, and I walked away to take a phone call, and I just heard Shanae going off across the street. And I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? And I came back, and she was like, no, because he said that you always been stuck up. And she said, well, nigga, maybe you shouldn't have been in our face. Wasn't you a fucking senior when we was freshmen? Like, it was just too much. Like, it was fun in a lot of ways. Like, I didn't have a bad experience.
Yeah.
Other than the bad experience that we all experienced. Okay?
That changed
all the dynamics. But for the most part, I had a cool ass fucking time. Like, niggas paid for shit. We went to the strip club every weekend.
We never had
sugar daddies.
I don't know. And I was 16 when
Starlets. What was the other one?
Infinity.
Perfection. We were in the strip club like we worked there.
Never got ID'd.
Hell no.
We got proposed to when we was, and I don't know why, because I'm looking at myself today, I'm shot. But like we was, when we walked in the club, I still remember the way y'all was dressed. Was it Perfections?
Yeah.
That they didn't allow you in because the way you was dressed, and we went to your staircase and took pictures.
Oh yeah, they didn't like. They felt we looked too stank or something. I don't know.
That y'all would battle the bottle.
Right, and this was before there was even a thing as a star tender. Like there was no star tender. Starlets wasn't even popping. It was just like a local strip club, and the stripper was still the main event, not the star tender. But that shit was fun. Because all the niggas from the neighborhood would pay for the bottles.
We would hop in their cars.
Basically.
It was just like a very neighborhood family fun.
Right.
Thing.
We stuck together. If one was fighting, we was all fighting. Mind you, we would fight each other in the neighborhood. There was never a dull day in the neighborhood. Like, people always had beef.
We was always outside,
we went outside of our neighborhood, if one person had a problem, we all had that mentality, which is crazy. Like, we all knew, like, oh, y'all fucking with people from over there? Okay.
And that's when we started podcasting off the mic. Like, we would, after all of those events, we would just sit back outside on the stoop. Like, did you see what happened today?
And
recall.
We went through that whole 4 in the morning.
Go through the entire story like we didn't just live it with each other.
And then the next day we would do if it was the weekend, the next day we would do the same thing. And then we would go to work, like as if nothing happened.
Simple as that. Simple as
crazy.
that. Like,
being young and having so much energy. Right now, I could not gossip a second and go to work.
I don't know nothing about nobody. My friends be sending me stuff. I know like gossip from the blogs when I'm on my phone, but if somebody asks me about somebody, I have no idea. I don't know who you are, what you do, where you been. I don't know.
So are we the way we are because of our mothers? Like our taste in music, the way we cook?
But I mean, I think if you really like dissect things, there's so much commonality in a lot of what we do, because if you really think about it, like for instance, just something as simple as like food. Y'all have plantains, right? Or say it in Spanish.
Plátano.
Plátano.
Guineo.
Right. So in Creole, it's banan. So it's just so many. We're all the same, and that's the crazy part that I think people don't realize. Like waking up Saturday morning, having to clean, hearing the fucking music blasting. You still got the cold in your eye, but you gotta get up.
Yeah, you
Like
know.
that's the stuff that I think all of us can relate to. Like when you see the funny videos about somebody's mom throwing a chancleta. My mom just threw her fucking whole house shoe. So it's no different. Like, I got my ass whooped with an extension cord. That's the only time my mother ever whooped me was with an extension cord. She OD. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. To this day, I'm still confused. You ain't have to zoom me like that, Roxy. But anywho, there's so much that we all have in common. And I think that if people realize that, it would be a lot more like harmony between people. Like there's not a big difference between me and y'all are mixed kids. I'm Black and Haitian, so there's no difference. So
yeah,
as far as taste in music, of course, you listen. I just said this to my boyfriend. I love me some Gap Band, Uncle
Is that
Charlie.
'cause your mother?
Yes, but when you think about it, I'm growing up and I'm hearing my mother play Patti LaBelle and Shaka Khan and all these great musical artists, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear that shit right now. Like I don't want to fucking hear. I'll stand, girl, turn that down. But now, as an adult, that's the shit I love. Like I love that music. I can sit and listen to Donna Summer, Tina Marie. Like I could listen to that all day. So your parents and your family obviously play a big influence on who you become. That's only natural.
Yeah.
And
I'm just like my mother now.
Exactly. As much as you be like, oh, I'm never gonna get up early and clean. What do you find yourself doing on Saturday morning or whenever, or even when you come home after you've been working all day, dead tired?
I didn't have my son for a whole day. My hubby's sister was like, let me take him. Y'all just work, relax. You know what the fuck I was doing in the house? Cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Changing tablecloth. Mm-hmm. Putting the laundry away. I don't know how to sit down.
That was our mother. My mother was always cooking and cleaning. We took after her.
I made a full course meal yesterday.
Yep.
He came home and then I realized, damn, I'm fucking tired. Why did I do this to myself?
That's how it is though. You can't even help it. In that aspect, I'm a little different from my mother. My mother is a hoarder, like dead ass. Like she don't throw shit away. If she sees something that she thinks is still of value, even though like the neighbor put it in the garbage, she's gonna examine it. That's something me and my sister we crack up about to this day. I'm like y'all's mother, where like I don't like people in my house because my mother was the opposite. Everybody was in my house. Our cousins lived in my house. My uncle lived in my house at one point. My sister's friends.
Our uncle too.
Like right. So like me and my sister, we used to call our apartment like a halfway house. Because if you had nowhere to go, I'm sorry, but we would. Like, if you had nowhere to go, call Roxy. Because she going to let you stay.
You got a situation.
You got a situation. Your man acting up. You don't got no food. You need anything. My mother was that person that was just like, all right, come stay at my house. It's all right. You can sleep on the couch. And me and my sister be like, bitch, stop. We want to have our house to ourselves. So now as an adult, I hate company. If my mother be like, oh, by the way, so I'd be like, no. Even like, God forgive me. My sister's kids, they can't stay too long. I love them, but y'all got to go home. Go to your mama. Go back. And I don't like to be at people's house.
Yeah.
So that it's you grow up being like your parents, but then some things that they do, you begin to just, be the opposite.
You have an opportunity to change.
Exactly.
Like me, like I want to grow up in a big giant house and have everybody there because we grew up in an apartment with nobody allowed. I only stared at my siblings. Mm-hmm. But that's also good because like me and my sister were close.
Right.
Yeah. We did dumb shit. We played supermarket.
We played my favorite thing.
We put on shows.
I watched Barney and I needed all the Barbie dolls. all the, the kitchen, the bathroom, you would put all those
I was a Polly
together.
Pocket girl.
I loved Polly Pocket, but I liked my Mattel dollhouse and getting
You had one,
all
Shanae.
the pieces, everything. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember KB Toys on Steinway.
Yup.
Oh, remember that?
You used to be in there. Me and my mom, and I'll never forget, she was dating some guy, but he used to buy me all the toys. Like any toy I wanted, he bought it. And I would fill that motherfucking dollhouse up. And I remember there was another girl in the neighborhood. She also had a dollhouse. And this is how I knew, like, I'm kind of competitive because even as a little girl, I was like, oh, she got that? Watch, bitch. When you come to my house, wait till this bitch come to my house. I'm going to have the bathtub too and the light bulb. So that was what I just loved little prissy stuff like that. I never learned how to ride a bike. To this day, I cannot ride a bike.
We
Are
had
you
bikes.
serious?
Dead serious.
You can get on one and just
no
conceptually just
'Cause
know how to pedal.
In my mind, I'm gonna think, oh my god, you're gonna fall, and I'm deathly afraid of cracking my 2 front teeth.
No.
That is my biggest fear. It really is. Like that is my biggest fear of cracking my 2 front teeth.
There's one big hill right outside in our neighborhood. I used
Exactly.
to ride down 3-4 years old.
We had rollerblades, roller skates.
Yes,
bikes,
I could rollerblade, roller
skateboards.
skate, but everything
had
else,
everything.
I remember one of them bitches
Scooters.
stole my bike.
And your big sister chased her down all the way to the block before Astoria Park.
Oh my
She
god!
took my bike, rode away with it.
And I was right
Away from
behind
home.
her. I said, and don't you stop. I'ma get you. I'ma fuck you up. You took my sister's
Who
bike.
took it? Just some random
A
girl.
little girl named
Oh
That
my
lives in
God.
our
that lived in our
our
court.
court.
Do y'all remember? This is when y'all brothers and sisters used to come over. It was so funny. There was somebody bullying Bella. I don't remember who it was. And we went and found the little girl. We were older, so we really couldn't do anything. And it was
Don't you hate when you pass the age who you
right?
can't
We
do
were
shit?
past the age to do anything, but it was Yay. And Yay thugged that fucking girl. All her Harlemness came out, and I was like, "Yo, this little girl is feisty." But that was so cute to me. Cause she was like, you better not, don't bother Bella, cause that's my sister. It was the cutest thing ever.
When we were with our brothers and sisters, the 7 of us with the other 2,
We were just so harmonic. It was like
we were thugs.
Yeah.
We thugged their whole complex in Harlem. When the 7, we thugged when we used to go to when we used to go to Jersey with our grandparents' house.
Yo, the kids didn't like us over there, like the families.
Cause Jersey's different. Not to say, but Jersey's white. Like where our grandmother's from in South Jersey, they had a different. Even our extended family members are different cousins. Like we was ghetto.
Yeah.
We went to their houses. We would thug them. We would bully them, and they couldn't handle it. They didn't know what to do with the 7 of us because we was from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Our father's who he is. Our mothers are who they are. We was mean. But we all loved each other.
See, I was the opposite. My mom's family in Jersey is in Patterson. And them niggas is rough.
So you was the innocent one.
I was the innocent one. Me and Shanae at like 14 and 15 went to my cousin's baby shower.
Well, there's a bunch of boys in your family.
Right.
They
My
all
whole
boys.
family, my age, I'm the only girl my age. So I had no girl cousins. Like, it was
Lord.
just niggas. Every single one of my cousins are males. So I was just like the little girl looking around like, what the fuck is going on?
That's your family's from like a
they
different
would
part
mob out. Yes,
of Jersey.
They from the
ghetto.
hood.
My grandmother lived in the middle of the woods.
Nowhere.
Right.
The next house was like a mile away.
Yeah, no. We grew up in the hood. Like the projects was across the street from Papa Nick's house. And even though he had a house, it was across the street from the projects. So he lived in the projects. So you go over there and it's like you sitting on a stoop and then all you hear is pop, pop, pop. And I'm just like, what is that? And all you see is my mother going yank me in the fucking house. So my family in Jersey is crazy. Like
when my
to this
grandmother
day.
lived, she lived so deep in the woods, we were scared to walk to the shed. Yeah, go get the bikes out. And we would look at each other like, get the fuck.
And there used to be 8 of us like shivering.
On some Scooby-Doo shit. Oh, walking together. Hey.
That's
The
what
bikes
I
are in the
miss.
shed. We used to be like, no.
Then when we get in the shed, there's just so much shit, cobwebs, that we would all talk shit. We didn't get in this shit. We ain't driving. We ain't riding that dirty shit. Like we were mean, but we was so. That's, if anything, that's what I miss. Like back in the day when we used to all just be together as kids.
Yeah, I miss those days.
That was so much fun. The pool.
Yeah, we would do all types of stuff.
We were
she
forced
never
to be
had
together.
air in the basketballs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
the hoop, like there was everything just wrong. Cause it's my grandma. Nobody ever go. She didn't
She's
have
an old
kids.
woman. There was no.
We went to her
little
house
kids around.
once a summer.
but still, we had fun.
Yeah.
We would play Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a Nintendo.
And did the difference between my dad and her, and then my mother and her, every time we went to our grandmother's house, we would just get schooled. Like she was the typical
she
black
was on
grandmother.
You don't know how to read? Sit down. Let me show you something.
She was strict.
She was very strict. She would make us do our
multiplications. You can't go outside.
Yeah.
On summer vacation,
we had to clean the plate. If there was still food on the plate, she would pull it out the next day. Are you hungry?
You remember the buffets in Jersey?
That used to be the best day because grandma never cooked or we never loved her food. So
she
every
can't
time
cook.
She would be like, all right, we're going to go to the outlets. We're going to go to the thrift. She would buy us thrift store clothes and church clothes and shoes. You know,
we
the
would
little
go to the
patent
buffet.
leather black shoes with the snap, or she'll buy all patent leather white shoes. Me and Jaleesa always had matching dresses and bows in our hair. We look very Crooklyn.
Yeah.
Like, she would like roll our hair up and put a big braid. Like, we look like from the movie Crooklyn. But that would be the best day of our life going to that buffet. I just remember the man slicing the ham and me pulling the plate. Can you put another slice?
The buffet was mad good. They closed down all those buffets.
Yeah.
That sucked.
My family used to cook. My Aunt Hannah was the best cook in our family at the time because my grandmother already passed by the time I grew up. But my Hannah, everything that I know how to cook really, really well, cornbread, fried chicken, potato salad, all my Aunt Hannah. So, and she was my Aunt Hannah was a nigga. Like, she was a real nigga. So if we would do something on the whole, like, okay, for instance, there was this lady across the street from Papa Nick's house, and her house was really, really dirty. Her name was Miss Kitty. And her house was filthy. And I'll never forget, my cousin got his ass beat because he sat down in her house. And her house was disgusting. And we was all just standing up, like, squished together. I don't know why we was in there. And my cousin, I want to say it was Woo. I don't know. But he sat on that fucking floor. And she stomped him out like a nigga in the street. She was, get the fuck up off the floor. You don't see this lady's house. My Aunt Hannah was fucking amazing. Like, the lady was hilarious. She could cook. You couldn't tell her shit. She would curse you out and then turn around and say, not me though. I was like the angel, the princess. Me and my one younger female cousin, I think she's like 23 now. So again, huge age gap. We were like her princesses. We could never do wrong. When I wanted to get red nails and my mother said no, she said, Roxy, shut the fuck up. She getting the red nails. Like, she was my saving grace. So I loved when she came over because we would just do like real nigga shit. We would ride out. We would go to Harlem, be on 125th Street. She would buy me shit. It was just a good time with Aunt Hannah. I miss her. But yeah, my family was just ghetto. Like, my Jersey family is, like, y'all know, hood.
Yep.
My first baby shower was my cousin's baby shower. And I want to say that he was like 14.
Yeah, how old was
he? Was very young.
Little.
We were like 13, 14, 15.
We just started high school.
And he's right under me, or he was, again, God rest his soul. But he was right under me. So he would be turning 31 as I'm turning 32. So if we were 15, he was like 14, 15. But I'll never forget that baby shower. It was just niggas all outside.
And wasn't it like, I remember, wasn't it like a community center?
It was a community
chairs were like red and yellow.
It was
and
a whole
blue.
motherfucking community center.
You know those hospital chairs?
Yes. It was mad niggas inside. Like, for me, I'm used to that because that's how my family is. But I know Shanae was just like, what the fuck is this?
It was just niggas.
Yes. Yes, and all my cousins was like, "Oh, cuz, who's your friend? Who's that? I love her."
That whole night, I was light skinned.
That's it. That's all they
Yeah.
said
Light
to her.
skinned. And I used to be like, oh.
That's
They
us.
loved her. I was just like, yeah, that's my friends.
And the difference between our black side of the family and my Puerto Rican side, our Puerto Rican side, they're typical Puerto Rican family.
The ghetto.
They ghetto. They cook all day. They blast music. Spanglish. My mother was different from them. You know, there's always that one or two uncles in the family that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they let us do what we want. When you grow up in Spanish households, y'all are all kings and queens. Like, there's just, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, we was always spoiled.
Yeah.
He got us everything.
We could do whatever we were encouraged to do.
Sometimes
Whatever
I
we
kind
want.
of feel like our Spanish side would make up for the lack of what our black side didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like my grandmother, I love her, but she was cheap. Like they never she bought me a pen for my birthday.
It was weird. Like, I understand as an adult 28-year-old woman today what she was trying to do, but what she failed to realize was her son and then my mother, the way they brought us up, she looked crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the things that she was doing.
Because who knows that? Like, my father married our stepmother, and I'll be honest with you, wasn't Christmas lit? We had Game Boys. We had
the whole living room was.
We had gold chains. We
Right.
had rings. The whole living room was lit.
Yeah. We had things we didn't even think we would.
Toys, Barbie dream houses, cars, electric shit. Sneakers. Remember back in the day, Gap came out with all the different color thermals. We had thermals. We had everything. So, like, when grandma would come around and pull out, like, a gold little box and a pen with your name on it, what the fuck is this?
All 12 pennies. I mean, it sounds foul, but when you're a teenager.
Yeah, when you little growing up.
And we're from where we're from when we grow up, and then we go to your house twice a year or once every summer, and now you trying to do this. We back then didn't value it.
It's just that
we grew up in New York City kids.
Exactly. I'll never forget. I went to a sleepover. It was all my church friends and one guy, his house was mad big, so it was like big enough for the girls and the boys to go, and the boys slept in his room and the girls slept in the sister's room. And so the mom decided to barbecue, and they still make fun of me with this story. So the mom decided to barbecue, and she put all the food and the plates down, and I was just like, what is this? And she was like, it's barbecue. And I was like, I don't eat burnt food. Like, dead ass to her face, I don't eat burnt food. Like, and they still bring that shit up. But now I love a burnt hot dog.
That's all I eat.
That's my favorite. But I was a
burnt
bougie
glizzy
ass kid. Like, I was so bougie. My father bought anything I wanted. My mother, whatever the fuck I said I wanted, they just went and got it. I was the baby, and with my dad, I'm his only girl. So as much as he might have not had wanted to buy me 2 chains and get the chain that says Tima and then Fatima and then give me a name ring and then I need bracelets. I loved bangles.
Oh,
girl,
bangles,
I would be click, click, click. All you hear was ching, 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 ching. Oh, I loved my bangles. And my dad worked in
we
Brooklyn.
had that bougie stepmother. She put us on to. I had Coach sneakers.
Right.
With the
See, that was my sister.
Everything was name plated. Everything was
name plated. Our hair was always laced
Gap
and
jeans.
done.
That was my sister for me. Being that
she was
older.
She was the only woman that ever put cornrows in me and my sister's hair.
Yeah. And it actually helped our hair grow and be nice. Yeah, she knew what
I
to
just
do.
did everything my sister did. My sister had a nameplate. It was like this big on her fucking neck. And it would say, she used her, because, and black and Spanish people, we don't call each other by the names. Like, there was another girl in the neighborhood named Rashida. So Tamara would not go by Rashida. Mm-hmm. If you called her Rashida back then, now she'll answer you. Back then, never. No. So it said Rashida and whatever fucking boyfriend she had. And that shit used to sit on her whole fucking neck, chest bone. You might as well say. So everything my sister did, I remember she colored her hair and the tips were red. So I did the same shit, made my mother bleach my tips, and I had, and then our mother was a hairstylist, so we got our hair done every week.
All the time.
Like, all the time in the roller setting chair, getting my fucking hair done. Aww. So my childhood was lit. Whatever sneaker my sister and her boyfriend used to get, because remember Ditmars used to be lit, and
Ditmars
you could
was
get your
lit.
Jordans from Ditmars.
Besides
Now,
locking you in the closet.
besides locking me
Remember
in the
High?
fucking
What's the sneaker
closet,
store on Ditmar High?
it was one of
High
them.
something.
But yeah, my sister,
High Gear.
High Gear, yes.
High Gear.
We would go to High Gear, and by that time, my sister had a baby. She was a teen mom, whatever. And her boyfriend, the baby, and myself will all get the same Jordans. And I'll never forget, I wanted the gray 11s, and Grace came in, and his fucking foot didn't fit. We weren't the same size. You a whole boy. He squeezed his foot in my 11s because I was still contemplating, like, I don't know, maybe I don't want them. And he took the last pair. I'll never forget that.
I buy kid size sneakers because they fit me and they're cheaper.
I guess.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, like growing up, I that's the part that I love about like being black. Like this is how we used to dress, how we talk.
Remember the week before school? Yeah. Remember the week before?
Yes.
The first day of school?
Mm-hmm.
You planned all your outfits.
I couldn't wait to go to school.
I couldn't wait to
boss
go to
up
school.
on bitches and be like, yes, I got my whatever
I
it
would
was.
never forget 4th grade. I thought I was hot shit because my stepmother took me to go get twisties and Marcy Projects. So I had twisties, and then the bun was like braided around, and then I had two. Remember how Alicia Keys used to leave the two, and
The
I had
two braids,
beads.
yes.
I couldn't wait to start 4th grade. And I had a pair of K-Swiss she got me.
K-Swiss, oh my gosh.
K-Swiss.
I used to love me some K-Swiss.
I couldn't wait to start 4th grade. I was so hyped.
So thank you, Mom and Dad, because there are some things that I've enjoyed growing up. Some things I'm taking with me. I could cook, clean. I know nice things when I
We
see
know how
it.
to swim.
I
Y'all
can't.
forgetting that. We know how to swim. We black, but we know how to swim. We grew up around the corner from a pool. So every Sunday, every weekend throughout the summer, I was definitely
We
in
learned
that
to
fucking
swim in New
pool.
Jersey at our grandmother's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I learned around the corner.
Or in the Poconos. We was always in the Poconos.
And my mother, to this day, I'm happy that I'm dark skinned. Don't get me wrong. But my mother's black, so she didn't know. But she used to send me to the pool with the neighborhood lady, D. She used to take all the kids to the pool. My mother would send me to the pool with skin so soft.
Oh my God.
So I was in the fucking sun frying. And then I'm getting in chlorine, which makes the fucking sun amplify on your ass even more. So when I look at pictures, like, I'm like, how did I drastically change in color like that? It's so weird. And then I remember she used to pack a little bottle and be like, make sure you put this on when you get to the pool so your skin doesn't burn.
My mother did the same thing, right? The green skin so.
The green, yes.
The green skin so.
Skin so.
Because she don't burn, but
they didn't know. My mother didn't know. Like, she grew up in the hood of New Jersey.
Who sold Avon in the hood? Because my mother and your mother
somebody.
Medion and Kiki.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Those was the Avon ladies, the Tupperware ladies too.
We always had Avon.
Always. And to this day, when I get out the shower, I put on my skin so soft. I love that shit. Like, I'm addicted to it. But yeah, our neighborhood afforded a lot of opportunities. Like, we had a great childhood. We didn't have to worry about, like, our neighborhood didn't have, like, bad things happen, like kidnappings or people dying.
10 blocks away,
Right. You go 10 blocks up or down, you in the hood. So, yeah, like, they had to deal with that shit. But luckily, in our neighborhood, we grow up eating Hito, dry rolls. Like, we learned different cuisines.
Or we was just sheltered to it at the time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure shit was going down.
Maybe so. Shit might have been happening, but we missed
but we
it.
Didn't know.
We didn't know a fucking thing about it. But I love our childhood. I think, like, that's if I decide to ever have children, I want them to have something similar where you have a little bit of everything, and you get to experience different cultures, different people.
I agree.
A good school.
A great school. Good public school at that too.
Exactly. And yeah, right. Our school is a public school, by the way. So
it was really fun. So we hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about us today.
Right. And we want to know how y'all grew up. We always tell y'all we want to hear from you guys. So if you grew up in the country, what the fuck y'all did? Because I heard y'all had like they didn't have like a Mr. Softies in the country. They had like trucks that would sell seeds and
for real
chicken and ice cream. And I'm like, what? Mr. Softy literally only had ice cream.
You remember the cotton candy truck that used to come around like once a month?
Yeah, we had the cotton candy
or the
truck.
Popcorn
Man. We had our fairs. fireworks. So we had little bougie
We had little
shit.
things.
We
Yeah.
had cute shit, but it wasn't no nigga rolling up with your seeds on
No.
deck.
On a
So
horse. I don't know.
who knows? So we definitely want to hear how y'all grew up. Is it similar to us here in New York City, running in and out of the pump during the summer?
The pump was on
If
the
the
other
pump
day
was
on
on,
19th Street.
oh, it was.
There's
See?
always that one dude with the wrench.
With the wrench,
in 95
who
degrees.
don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Turning on the pump. So if y'all grew up like that, if y'all grew up kind of hood like me, with half your family, you know, is having baby showers at 14, but the other half is, you know, speaking Creole, and you got to sit there and look stupid. We want to know.
We want to know.
So, you know, hit us up.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share
Share. Check us out. Did I Lie Podcast?
across all social media platforms.
Every Thursday.
And make sure y'all listen every Thursday. That's right, Shanae.
Right. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Later.